Welcome to the Connection Connoisseur. My name is Brenda.
And I'm Michelle.
And it's our mission to build a community of lady tribes, a place to connect and grow your tribe with resources, ideas, and events. We invite you to join our inner circle of tribe leaders.
It's free! Each week we will start a conversation about connecting within your tribe and across all of our tribes. Our goal is to find 1,000 lady tribes in 2022. And each episode will challenge you with a call to action. And the first one is to find the link to register in the description below. And as a gratitude gift, we will send you a downloadable copy of Chapter 1 of Lady in the Tribe, The Awakening.
Yay!
Yay!
So please press subscribe below so you are alerted of a new episode each week. Let's do this! Ladies, welcome to the Connection Connoisseur. We are so glad you're here today. How are you feeling today?
Wonderful, thank you.
Awesome, yes. Loving our February attire, don't you? We're still riding out the February theme and all the goodness that red brings into our life. So today we decided we want to talk with you all a little about showing up. And I don't know, this probably is a recurring theme in your own lives, but my husband, a wonderful father and great mentor to a lot of kids, coached a lot of kids, he always would say over and over again, just showing up on time is like 90% of the way to success. In anything in life, because so many people don't show up. They just don't show up, or they show up late, or whatnot. And how just showing up for the things that are really important in life make such a big difference, right?
Yeah.
And I'll just even go a step further is like homework. That was a big thing. Did you ever have kids? Did your kids ever like not turn in their homework?
Yes.
Not turning in? What? I mean, they did it. They did the homework because you were there with them helping, and for some reason it never got turned in. Mm-hmm. And it's really hard to recover from a zero. Even if you like fail the assignment and get 50%, you can recover from that just by showing up and just by, putting forth a little bit of effort. And then we want to talk about that a little bit today and how we do that in our relationships and in our tribe and with our best girlfriends.
Yeah, agreed. In terms of friendships where that 99% of success is just the being there part, it's just the showing up part, and sort of some, discussions of when we've really succeeded at that, and then also when we failed, and what lessons that we can learn from that, so that we can start showing up better in the future.
Yeah, and failure, I truly believe that we only fail when we stop trying, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, as long as we are going for it and putting effort forward and learning from our mistakes and trying again and doing better, we fail at things, but it's really not a true failure until you just stop trying altogether.
Yeah, I like that. Well, we should start our discussion similar to what we tell your kids, or what your husband tells your kids, or what I tell mine is really, are we practicing what we preach when it comes to showing up in life? And so I kind of want to start with a story of sort of the tough stuff of life showing up, if I may.
Yeah, please.
With a story we were talking about earlier where a very best friend, childhood friend, found herself in an emergency, and her husband was being care flighted to a hospital. Her 5 kids, who were essentially ages like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, were left home alone while her husband was being put on a helicopter to the hospital, and I was 2 states away. Mm-hmm. And all I knew in my heart was that I needed to show up. I couldn't do a thing to help at the hospital. I couldn't do much to help at home other than get there and be there with the kids, but I knew I needed to show up for her, right? So I really look back at that moment as a failure because I couldn't be there. I couldn't get there. I couldn't drop everything and really be what she needed to have in that moment. And it kind of haunted me, but it also gave me a lesson going forward that when in our friendships we say, I'll always be there for you. If you ever need me, just call me. All those sentiments that we say, do we really mean it when it comes time to turn in our homework for our best friends in the hardest situations?
You know, Michelle, I hear what you're saying, and I just want you to say, don't be quite so hard on yourself. I mean, you were 2 states away, and I know that she's one of your best friends and you want to be there for her, and you were, and you have to give yourself a little bit of grace there and everything, and because sometimes there are some obstacles, and I think that you kind of turned it around a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we found the way, but the lesson came in is that, well, I think where I learned the most was sometimes our idea of what showing up, being there, and giving somebody to lean on or support is different maybe than the person going through it and what they think they need. How they really sometimes can't tell you exactly what they need, although you have a strong urge to be helpful or be useful. That doesn't mean that they're really even in a place yet where they could accept that help or have you be there, or that it would be even convenient actually to have someone else around or to have company at that kind of time.
Right, and we're not good at asking for help. We're just not good at it. We got this. We live our life that way. I got this. I've got it all handled. So it's hard for your best friends to know how to best support us anyway. But your intuition said something and you didn't go with it, and that's where your hang up is. I think that's what you're saying a little bit.
Absolutely. I didn't listen to my heart on that one. And I got a couple more opportunities down the road to go with that lesson learned. Another friend who lived in Florida at the time and was going through a divorce. Actually, if I had to guess, I would say she was more embarrassed than anything. It probably wasn't a time that she was going to be calling and asking for help. Yet my intuition still said she needed this, even though I was not invited. So that was a time where I was able to just show up and be able to support what she needed to have done in the moment. In fact, we packed one room. I packed one room a day for 5 days until her house was ready to go. And my same friend whose husband was ill had a miracle recovery story where there were weeks on end in the hospital or in the rehabilitation center, where that same friend and those same 5 girls needed constant around-the-clock support months later. And so I definitely got my chance, but in the meantime got to learn to listen to your intuition on showing up for the really tough moments, because that makes showing up in the moments that are everyday moments, the easy stuff, a lot more, a lot easier to do.
Yeah, and in different situations, maybe it's not the right thing to just hop on a plane and go somewhere. Maybe you just can't. We all have our own very busy lives, but I have a similar situation where one of my very best friends, her husband passed suddenly, and she lived 2 states away, and I was just devastated and torn up inside for her, but I knew she had a lot of people in her life there, and a lot of things, and she always has it all together, and she's like the strength in her family. And I just said, I will be there tomorrow on the next plane, if that would be good for you, or would you rather go through this with all of the people that are there showing up and want to be a part of this and want to support you right now, and they will be there one way or another. Do you want me to wait until like 30 days goes by, and then, you'll be sitting there still and still with big loss in your heart? Can I support you better in that way? And she said, yes, please come. And I did. It was almost 30 days later to the date, and we watched, it was Thanksgiving time, so of course the Hallmark shows were just starting up, all those, just chick flicks and chick shows, and we cooked for each other, and we shopped, and I helped her pack up some things in the garage where it was his area, and we just put some stuff together for donation, and just really got to be present together. And it was, I think for me, I felt like it was just the perfect way to honor our friendship, and I was able to be there for her. But it wasn't right at that very moment. And you know what? We're not going to always be able to hop on a plane. And even if your life allows you to do that, some things are going on and on a regular basis that you can't do that. What suggestions would you have for someone that has these friends that are states away or whatever is going on in their life, and they are there with their heart and spirit and soul, but they can't just be there?
Yeah, I remember what you said about sometimes you aren't in a place to know how to ask, and equally sometimes you're not in a place to know how to receive. And so I think if your instinct is telling you go, and there are reasons that you can't, or there's maybe reasons on the other end of your friendship of why that may not be received. So two different things there, whether, but communication fixes them both. Mm-hmm. And like you said, grace, giving yourself and each other grace to find your own solution, but communicating about what that is. Here's my offer that I will do anything whenever you need it, and whatever that looks like to you. And also maybe tickling a little bit, the friend who didn't invite me certainly was able to receive the love and the help once I was there to give it. So communicating about those things. I want to help you. My intention, you are important to me. Your situation that you're going through. How can I be the most help, just like you were with your friends? Right. What works best for you? Right,
and maybe that takes a little more prodding and pushing, and I believe you told me that she said, don't come. And I don't even have a clean room for you, right? But in some situations, you kind of just have to take charge, and you go with your gut and say, I am going because she doesn't know what she needs now, and I know I can see it from the outside a little bit more than she can see it in the minutia of it. And just say, I just want to be with you. Let's just be. No plan. You don't have to entertain me. We're not gonna, we're not gonna, whatever it is, if it's just sitting and having coffee together, that's what we're gonna do. Whatever you need, let's be together.
Well, and I find that it really takes the pressure and the formality off of the relationship and lets you go deeper. Quicker in those moments, right? There's nothing like an emergency or a crisis or a life-changing event, unexpected, that brings people together closer and deeper. And I would say the same kind of situation happened for me when I was faced with a diagnosis of a disease where everyone who loves me was reaching out to see what they could do and how they could be there for me. And same friend 2 states away said, I feel like I should come right now. I feel like I should be there. And I was feeling like, well, there are like 40 other people here right now taking up my time and asking me the same questions and holding my hand. You know what I need from you is to stay right where you are. I'm gonna need you later.
Yeah.
And that has made our friendship deeper and stronger. And now, there's nothing that we couldn't go through. We couldn't show up for with each other forever. We're way deeper than we ever would have imagined that we could have been.
Yeah, we really don't grow in our relationship at the surface. It's all in the muck, isn't it?
Isn't that true?
It's in the muck that very few of us are willing to let very few people into that muck area. But those are the places where you really, really do build those lifelong connections of people who know who you are, and that is what tribe and best friendship is all about, in my opinion. Showing up doesn't have to be a 2-state away, week or weekend or month event. Showing up really becomes the everyday life stuff, right?
Oh yeah, following your intuition, just like you would to jump on a plane or feel called to something, is responding to your intuition in the moment with a text or a call. Like, how many times does it happen to you that you will reach out to someone who's on your mind in that moment, and they're like, I was just thinking about you. I was holding the phone texting you when this came to me. There's those little connections are just as important in the showing up as the fly away when you need to.
Yes.
Connections are too. So listening to those nudges, and that takes you deeper and gives that sense in your friendship that you're in it together and you're right there. You're right there, even though you might have some distance in between.
Right. So yeah, showing up for the everyday life part of our life is kind of the foundational starting point. It's not always the most fun to go to your best friend's kid's 5-year-old birthday party or whatever. I mean, at some point, at the beginning, at least in our case, it was all about, it was an adult party really, until they hit a certain age, and then it became a real kids party, a princess party, or a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle party. But we show up to be that presence and that grounding for our friendship, because our friend is going to be out of her mind trying to take care of all these kids in those situations that I just mentioned and all that. But I know when I had those parties and I would see a friend that was really there for me, they were there for me, not for all this. It just felt so validating that, first of all, they've got your back if you need something. It's covered. You don't have to worry about it. But just knowing that this friend is a part of your everyday life and the moments in your life that make a difference, and the moments that you're taking pictures of, and the moments you can look back and go, oh yeah, Michelle was there with me at that silly party, and we did this. We painted the girls' fingernails with princess stuff and stickers, and then the weddings, the bar mitzvahs, the retirement parties, all of those things. I always just say, if I know that my girls are going to be there for me when the deep and dark and tough stuff happens, because they're there with me in the everyday minutia. I know that they're there for me.
Yeah, I love that too. I think that if showing up is 99% of the success in life, then it's 99% of the success in friendships and as well. And so if your homework paper is somewhere half done, that, and all you need to do in your friendship is to be able to turn it in. I used to have a mentor and a friend who said to me that what I did to show up, when I thought it was just average and I was not at my best, she used to say that your average is better than most people's best effort, and that my average meant everything to her.
Right.
And so when we try to be great, then we encourage each other even more. But just average, just showing up, just turning in the homework.
Yeah, and I think
it's good in friendship.
Yes, and you earlier talked a little bit about faking it until you make it.
Oh yeah.
And as a rule, I've gone back and forth on that. Depending on what it is. But if all it takes is just showing up, and that can be your faking it. It's putting the right foot forward. It's showing up. It's just being a part of your girlfriend's life.
Yeah, and then you make it over a period of time, because you've gotten the reward of knowing that just being in the space, just being together, just showing up is the journey. And what was it that you were telling me about the journey?
Yes, so we were talking a little bit about, we all have big events in our life that we've been amping up for. So I wrote and published Lady in the Tribe last year, and I was consumed by everything book for 9 months of my life, and it was just an exciting, awesome adventure. And it gets published, and you have the party, and you keep talking about it, and then you kind of go, whew, well, there's no arrival point, right? That's what it is. It's part of the journey, and you have to relish in the fact that there's no end, and it's not you've arrived at this new level of being an author, or like in your son's situation, he's a movie star. Well, I'm just gonna say that. He's a movie star, and he put a lot of work and effort into this awesome message and performance, and there's so many things in it that are just so dynamic. But you always have this little bit of a letdown after it's all happened, because oh no, now what?
Yeah, you've accomplished that. And we were talking about that, about how even when you've done the success thing and your dream is attained, that you're still 99% is just keeping on showing up and doing those things, even though all of those things add up. That's the fake it till you make it part. All of those showing up add up to what was this success and what is your intention.
Right.
And so it does kind of magically sort of fill in the blanks that when we just keep on showing up and keep on faking it until we're there, it becomes our second nature. And it is part of the journey. It's what makes the journey good.
Yes, and as for friends, I had the best friends showing up for me during my journey, and still showing up. It's not over yet. I haven't arrived, and none of us have and ever will. Arrival is not something we really want to land on. We don't want to land anywhere for too long, because it's all downhill from there, right?
That's true.
But yeah, being there for your girlfriends and this important relationships in your life during their big moments. There's no words to express what that means to those people, and you don't even know. You don't even know what it meant for me to have you so involved in that part of my journey, and being as excited for it and for me as I was, and truly, and I'm sure you showed up to some things going, well, I got to do this for Brenda, but it meant the world to me, and just being a big part of my life, and us living together. So thank you.
No, you've shown up to some pretty important events in my life too. And I always know that when the people who love you the most show up in those moments, whether they're short notice, whether they're emergencies, or whether they're just celebrations, that those are my people. Those are my tribe.
Absolutely. Well, gosh, this has been a really amazing topic. I would love to hear from some of our viewers a little bit on what struck a chord with you. Does it bring any events to mind where you felt you showed up in a great way, or you could have showed up better? What you learned from it? We'd love to have a conversation going about this. So please go into your comments and share the love. Tell us what you liked, what would you like to hear more of from us on friendship and relationships and ladies and their tribes. So please go ahead and give us a like, and that's a thumbs up on YouTube. It's a like on the podcast. And definitely subscribe if you haven't. You'll get a little ding once a week saying, oh, there's a new episode of the Connection Connoisseur, and we just want to keep connecting with you. So,
well, when 3 or more gather,
we are tribe.